What can be done to make the Board of Selectmen work as a more cohesive board with specific examples to secure Wilton's future? There has been public tension among Board of Selectmen members. How will you rebuild trust in the Board of Selectmen? And again, the first is Mr. Warren.
That's a great question. It's kind of two parts. You ask kind of how they can better work together, but also how things might be done going forward. And the topics that the board deals with, people are very passionate about them, and they have strong feelings, which is good. Debate is positive. Sometimes, my personal view, I think sometimes discussion is not intentionally, but maybe it doesn't get the discussion that it deserves because people are worried about needing to get along and needing to appear cohesive, where I believe that challenging each other, and I mean that in certainly a respectful sense, but having lively debate, if you will, is important in being able to resolve differences, agree to disagree where you might need to, and come to some resolution that everybody can get behind and support. Not everything is going to be a 5-0 vote. That's just not the way life works, and it shouldn't. If everybody's doing the same thing, then the question is, are we really getting enough views? And so I think it's important to have those views and to have that discussion. There's some very specific issues that have come up with the Board of Selectmen in the recent past, so I don't want to comment necessarily how I would address those, because those are different, but I think how I would address things going forward is just ensuring that we do have adequate time for debate, that we are properly prepared for the meetings, materials are provided, topics are discussed on the agenda prior to the Board of Selectmen, so that they can have a robust and open discussion and understand that not everybody's going to have the same opinion.
Mr. Tatko, same question.
Thank you very much. So I would concur that I do think that some degree of constructive tension is productive in these boards. There's a reason there are 5 members of the board. Obviously, we're not all going to agree on things, and hopefully, with different views expressed, we do come to the best outcome for everybody. I would say a few things. The topic of surprises and expectations is one that seems to have come up on the board. So, exactly what's going to be presented, what is available to be discussed on that day versus not available to be discussed on that day. Have all the members of the board had the time to review all the relevant information and review the decisions that are going to be faced by them on that particular day? There were some specifics over the course of the past year relating to the budget back in the spring that I believe was presented later than some members were expecting. There were disagreements over hiring processes. There was obviously a very strong disagreement about when one member of the board moved from Wilton and how that would be handled.
I've been on the Board of Selectmen since August of this year. Better.
Yes.
I've been on the Board of Selectmen since August of this year, and I've witnessed firsthand the deliberations and the discussion that takes place at the board. And I fully support strong and robust discussion at these meetings. And I sit there with my colleague, Ross Tortel, and we watch that discussion and jump in when appropriate. I think at times the conversation and the discussion is not constructive. I think we need to foster a better atmosphere of constructive discussion to move items along to a timely resolution. I too agree, all items don't have to be a 5-0 vote. My appointment to the board was 3-2. So all items, while you might strive for unanimity among the board, it is not required. On the several commissions and committees and boards that I've been on in my 30 years of living in town, members of the board, but for you, the people who have put us on the boards in the first instance. And I think it gives the boards a chance to hear the issues and to discuss the differences and to address what's in the best interests of the community.